The FBI and Department of Homeland Security have issued a joint bulletin warning of increased threats to law enforcement officials. The memo comes after the FBI executed a search warrant at Mar-a-Lago and seized 11 sets of documents. The agencies say the threats are happening mainly online on social media sites, web forums, and image boards. For more on all this, I want to bring in now Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Sganga. She joins us from West Palm Beach, Florida, pretty close to the site of that search. So, Nicole, tell us what's the latest in terms of what threats are being made on law enforcement and other officials, and how seriously are they being taken?
Yeah, very close indeed, Lana. Good to be with you. Now, before we jump in, that joint bulletin you mentioned from the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security want to flag that a man in Western Pennsylvania, Adam Bies, was charged with one count of threatening law enforcement today. This after he went on Gab, a social media platform, and vowed to, quote, unquote, slaughter, federal agents, going on to say that anyone working for the Federal Bureau of Investigation deserves to die. Just some really atrocious comments made on Gab. That landed him with one charge. We are told that he is being detained in Western Pennsylvania before his first appearance in court later this week. Now, as for that threat bulletin that you mentioned, Lana, I want to read you sort of a key graph. The FBI and DHS here observing an increase in violent threats posted on social media against federal officials and facilities, including a threat to place a so-called dirty bomb or improvised explosive in front of FBI headquarters, in addition to issuing general calls for civil war and for armed resistance. Now, the specificity of that sort of language, that kind of call to violence against FBI officials and other federal law enforcement, was the impetus behind this bulletin that went out to state and local law enforcement agencies across the country, Lana. That's what I'm told by senior law enforcement officials. Also in that bulletin, discussion of specific identifying proposed targets, tactics, or weaponry, and personal identifying information on possible victims of violence, including the federal judge who, not too far from where I'm standing, signed and authorized that search of the former president's Mar-a-Lago estate. In fact, there were so many calls to violence online associated with that official that the U.S. District for the Southern District of Florida took that individual's biography offline in the hours following the FBI's authorized search of Mar-a-Lago. In addition to that individual's home address being posted online, members of that individual's family were posted online, what is commonly referred to, Lana, as doxing.
Yeah, Nicole, we have previously been reporting on how Republican allies of the former president have been coming to his defense, blaming the law enforcement officials for doing this without justification. How are Republicans then reacting to these types of threats that are being made against law enforcement officials? And how is this rhetoric changing?
Yeah, Lana, this is a really marked shift that's worth pointing out to our viewers. During the 2020 campaigns, many of our viewers might recall discussions of backing the blue being quite popular among GOP lawmakers. And in fact, we are seeing a bit of a departure from that, particularly among, lawmakers that are the former president's most ardent supporters. So Congressman Paul Gosar, tweeting to destroy the FBI, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene calling to defund the FBI, but also some other lawmakers, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, speculating without any evidence, Lana, during a news interview that perhaps the FBI could have entrapped the president by planting things within the boxes of documents that were taken from the former president's estate. Again, not citing any sort of evidence there, and we have no evidence to prove that that is the case in any way. Even House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, in a now sort of notorious statement hours after the Mar-a-Lago search, saying the Department of Justice, quote, has reached an intolerable state of weaponized politicization. And the reason why this kind of language is important to flag, not only the shift in rhetoric, is because that type of language tends to inspire some more radicalized and extremist, narratives on some of these far-right platforms online, but also on Twitter, on Facebook, among the president's most fervent supporters.
All right, Nicole, thank you.
Thank you.